it's me again. And I've birded up again. It's cold. It's 40 degrees out, which here it was cold. But yesterday it started off at like 25, warmed up to 67. And today it's supposed to be colder. And then tomorrow it's supposed to be like really cold. I'll have a high of 40. So let's talk today about social dynamics here. We're going to talk about social dynamics and a lot of things that I've noticed. So social media is a wonderful platform. A lot of people think like a lot of issues we have today are new issues. I consider them human nature issues. They only seem new because we now have like an instant platform to discuss with other people all over, and we can see how what any one person is doing or feeling at any particular given time on any particular given date because it's all logged. We're all self-logging this, right? Which is kind of cool because you can like, you have algorithms which will track how people are feeling, they will to certain events, it's kind of interesting. So we can use this to our advantage. If you play your cards right, we can use this to our advantage. We can use it to help identify manipulation tactics. So one thing I like about the social media platform is now you can find more groups for anything. Find a fandom group for anything. We got stocks, right? Investing. But even investing, like everybody has their little clubs that they're in, right? So getting into clubs and cliques is human nature. This is like across any group, fandom, hobby. They all have their clubs and cliques. This like does not go away. Clubs and cliques is like human nature. You have clubs and cliques. That's what we do. We get into clubs and cliques, you go to one school, everybody in the school is not friends, right? You go to Caramel Alley, you're sharing the same school, but even within your school, you have different clubs and cliques. And even within the same classroom of students, you have different clubs and cliques, and those are kind of intermesh. So if you take marketing classes, the old school was demographics, and then the term psychographics started popping up. And when I went to school, that was like a thing. It was like, oh, these psychographics. And they're all, people make up, but there's a good example of the psychographic would be the movie Don't Look Up, the Netflix movie Don't Look Up with Leonardo DiCaprio. So the guy who does the Bash software, he states that there's like eight types of psychographics, and Leonardo is this particular one. I just edited out a spoiler of the movie because I cited a statistical reference and it was a spoiler. Whoops, gotta edit that out. So he made the script for Don't Look Up pre-COVID. COVID just happened to fit perfectly and follow the trope, right? You study people well enough. That means he's very good at studying people. So today we're going to study people. So I have some different categories here of bears. These are the different bear categories. Now with social media, everybody has a platform and everybody wants to be included and jump in and have their say. It's kind of fun. So you're going to notice some of these things. Sorry for my voice. I guess I'm a bit phlegmy and congested from all that wind and sand yesterday. So let's get into it, because psychology, you'll see some aspects of psychology played out differently than others, depending on what group you're in and how they are. So you have your true bear. They make money by the stock going down. That's your true bear. Stock goes down. They get into it, stock goes down, they get out. Yay. True bear. You have somebody who likes to play the stock quite a bit. So when it's high, they sell, and then they try and look for re-entry points. So they will go into bearish modes to try and get the stock to go down, or in hopes that the stock will go down to try and re-enter. These people can be bull or bear. They like to play the other team. They're basically like your freelance contractor player, and they can go play for the other team. And then you have You have both on the other sides, by the way. Salty bulls and salty bears. So you have the salties. Salty bulls and salty bears are both bearish. Basically, they get very insecure and they're going to be very salty. The true bear who makes money will brag about his money. And will brag about the deals and be like, haha, look. And they base a lot of, whenever they feel insecure, whenever they feel challenged, they will present to you a case where their money speaks, their money talks, right? Money talks. So they will always show you like how much that they made. And they'll use that as a way to justify. Like, I haven't been wrong yet. Oh, look at me. I'm batting like, 900 average. I use a lot of baseball references for some reason. When they feel insecure, they're going to use their portfolio and their trading history to try and better their platform. You have re-enter bears, which, they want the stock to go down because they want to re-enter and get that play. The salty bull or salty bear. Because it's easiest to recognize people who have insecurities. Like, I think right off the bat, it's pretty easy to recognize those people who have insecurities. And there's other people who make money by manipulating you. Again, they want you to sell. Some people want you to buy. Some people want you to sell. It's good to recognize manipulation on both sides. It's good to question things on both sides. I'm all for it. Question. That's fine. Question it. Take 3. This is presenting to be a lot harder than what I initially thought it would be. So you have these insecure people. Bull, bear, they're both salty. They've lost some money in either case, and they're going to be very salty about it. Bull or bear. They're salty, and they're insecure. Social media presents itself a wonderful opportunity for lots of people to reveal their insecurities. Social media can be annoying sometimes. A lot of people will get into like this group think mentality. A lot of times people get into a group think mentality, which I always question. If somebody, I try to avoid groupthink, and if somebody brings up like a valid concern or a valid critique, I like to see the opposite viewpoint. I try and switch it as much as I can. I think it's good to listen to people and find out what concerns are rather than trying to create like a gaslight. Now, if I've examined it enough and I'm confident enough, then I will post videos like tackling the FUD. But in other cases like MMTLP, I'll examine both sides. And I will take critique from both sides. And because I don't like the whole groupthink mentality, clubs can be fun. However, once people start asking questions and then they are automatically ostracized or labeled as you're bad. Oh, it's us versus you now. You're bad. We must keep the group strong, or I feel insecure about you questioning that, so let's make you the bad guy. And, that takes attention away from my insecurity. It's hidden now. My insecurity can be hidden, right? So a lot of times people who actually ask valid concerns will be ostracized, which I don't agree with. But there are many tactics bears will use to try and get you to sell. Salty bulls too, for some reason. I guess salty bulls are just salty bulls are insecure. And it's crabs in a bucket mentality then. If I can't succeed, then nobody can succeed, which I would examine. I don't think that way is necessarily healthy for anybody. Let's go with the first one, the concern troll. You've seen the concern troll. I don't want to see anybody lose their money. I hate to see people lose their money. A lot of bears will say this. They'll say that the company's crap. It's a scam. They don't want to see you lose their money. This is called the concern troll. And there's a lot of different concern trolls. Everywhere you go, there's concern trolls. Concern trolls, what they do is they will try to seem like they take a good guy position. They'll try and make it seem black and white. They take a good guy position, but really they're just trying to derail you from the main concern of the subject. For example, the torchlight, let's cite this example, the torchlight dividend, preferred share dividend. You have a lot of people saying that the oil still doesn't exist and they don't want to see anybody lose money because I'm telling you to go buy this and I'm pumping the stock. Because people like me want to pump the stock. Yeah, one person who has like 1,600 YouTube, subscribers. I wouldn't call that a stock pumper by any means. Maybe they see that the bird suit is an easy target. They're just like, oh yeah, that should be easy, low-hanging fruit there. So they'll call me a pumper saying I'm giving you wrong information or misleading. I'm misleading you into getting this. And they don't want to see anybody lose their money, right? So they automatically make it seem like I'm the bad guy. There's their scapegoat. I'm the bad guy. She's full of it. She's pumping that stock. I'm on your side. I don't want to see you lose money. So they want you to say, I'm wrong. You should sell. They're derailing it from the actual issue of the dividend by saying that I'm a pumper and that they're concerned for you. Now, this makes it seem like anybody who's genuinely concerned can be a troll. Not always the case. That's not always the case. But a lot of times in certain situations, you can see it. At least in stocks, you can see it, right? Because it's like, well, what do you care what somebody else does with their money, right? How does this affect you? Because they make money on people selling, right? Price goes down. That's how they make money. If enough people sell, price goes down. If they can generate enough negative sentiment, price will go down. Hey, a bit of an edit to further explain. Yeah, what do they care what people do with their money? And they say, well, I don't want to see people lose money. Oh, I don't like to see that. You're concerned. So are you my friend now? I would ask that. Are you my friend now? Do you care enough about me that you're all of a sudden my friend for some unique reason such as this? Like, yeah, you lost money. Let's be a friend. Or you might lose money. Hey, that's a great way to start a friendship. And that's one way to do it. Like, you all of a sudden are concerned. Wait, you want to be my friend now? Oh, that's so wonderful. You want to be my friend. Now that we're friends. And then you can start trolling them and have some fun with it. So that's a good way, concern troll is when somebody acts concerned about you all of a sudden, like they're your friend. I would question, are you my friend now all of a sudden? Why else would you care what I do with my money? I didn't take you as a caring, empathetic person. Thank you. Or just say that. I didn't take you as a caring, empathetic person. Thank you. But I'm not selling. They're not, if you kill them with kindness, they don't know how to react to that as much. Hence why this is a manipulation tactic and not like a genuine concern. Now, if your friend comes up to you and says, I think you have a gambling problem, you've lost quite a bit of money in casinos and you keep talking about you're going to hit this jackpot. I think you might have a problem. Let's talk about it. Okay, that could be a genuine concern, right? Do these bears ever want to say, let's talk about it? I've yet to see a bear that says, let's talk about it, actually. And I actually do say that to people. I'm like, hey, care to talk about it? You sound like you've been very frustrated. Do you care to talk about it? I think if you ask, would you like to talk about it, or I'm here to talk about it, that really takes people aback because they're not used to that. You've just taken their concern troll tactic and trolled them back, turned it around and trolled them back with genuine concern. and now they've been taken off guard. Let's talk about the C-line argument. So you have the concern troll, and there's something else. Now this is, I say, a lot more common in chat rooms and Twitter because it's really easy to jump in on the conversation. And I guess the term for this is called C-line. I didn't know that this was like an actual term. To which I would say my dad, my own father would be champion C-liner. If you looked up the champion C-liner, you might see a picture of my dad in there. I got to draw a graph for this. This is crazy. Okay, I have to draw because this is how I see it visually. So you have a group of like 2 or 3 people and they're talking about something, right? And they might be experts or they might have a lot of experience. And so the conversation goes from like a basic level to like a pretty high up level. Like people are talking about stocks and now they're talking about options and all this other stuff, or we're talking about, whatever. We're talking, and the conversation like escalates. You can tell we've been in this for a while, or people are experts. And then you have the bear, who C-lines his way into this argument because he feels very insecure seeing these people talk about something knowledgeable and people going, ooh, look at this group of people. Wow, I don't want this. People believe that, they feel very insecure. From a money standpoint, from a bear standpoint, people start talking about stuff. It means that people know something. If they all start going and they know something's up. From a money standpoint, that bear wants to derail that. So he'll do what's called C-line. And he jumps into the conversation. But he starts asking like, we're already on question Q and he's back to level A. We're level 10, he's on level 1 or 2. And most times people will go, okay, or they'll ignore him or move somewhere else. However, in a social media setting, it's a bit different. Social media creates this wonderful audience of people which you don't know who are watching you at all times. It used to be if you had a conversation in a house with like your friends at school or whatever, and you did this and somebody butts in, you tell them to get lost or go play in so-and-so or go ask the teacher. Or if, you try and do this and annoy your grandparents, they're like, go ask your mother, stuff like that, right? But now you have this whole people watching your every move and they're going to judge you, right? So how do you treat this guy? He sees this as an opportunity. If he can kind of derail this group, he gets cred. Now, he gets the street cred, right? So he's going to come in and ask a bunch of questions, and it's going to relate to more of this group of people. And then they're going to start to see him as the good guy, and maybe these guys were the bad guy. With a bear bull case, it's you, them, sell, buy. It's pretty binary, right? So he'll jump in. Now, that's not to say that somebody sees a group of people and they're honestly curious and they don't know the social protocol. You can always private message a person. Some people aren't aware of these social protocols. Different cultures have different languages, people have different upbringings, and they might not be used to these types of social situations. And so they genuinely have a concern, they just kind of butt in. To which case, be friendly. I think small talk is great. I love small talk because you can really assess what this person's trying to do, I think, with small talk. I immediately drop the big conversation and I just go with small talk. That's my don't give them the conversation. That's what they want, right? Is that big conversation. Take your conversation to private. Give them the small talk because small talk reveals, I think, a lot about a person. And it reveals a lot of their insecurities, how they see themselves. Do a small talk. Because if you try doing small talk with him and he starts getting angry, they're going to see that. They're going to be like, you were just nothing but nice to this guy. Why is he getting upset? See, you can turn the tables, right, with some small talk. You're the nice guy now. You just did it backwards on him because he's trying to C-line in his way with you and trying to bring it down the conversation, causing confusion. Do it back to him. And then you'll know if he's, just a guy with questions and, maybe some awkward social protocol. or if he really has some ulterior motives here, right? So you drop this conversation that's big, and then you turn it around and say, hey, how's the weather? Go sports. Do you like broccoli? Stuff like that, right? And then it sea lines him back. You got to troll the troll. You got to troll the troll. And like I said, my dad's a champion sea liner. How you win against dad is you troll the troll. And eventually dad stops because he knows that you've one-upped him. And then you might make a friend. If it's somebody genuine, you might make a friend. Great. And if it's a troll, there you go. You never know, right? You never know. That's why it's sometimes good to, listen to different people. When I don't really try not to do a groupthink. Why sometimes groupthink can be bad because, maybe you want the friend. When you do groupthink and you're like, no, you bad, we good. Well, then, this audience here is going to see it. Your Greek chorus is going to see it. The world's a stage, as Shakespeare said. But now with social media, we got this Greek chorus watching us and talking about our moves. You do something, somebody's going to recap it. Like sometimes I make a video and then it gets recapped to somebody else. It's like, whoa, I have my own Greek chorus. I think that's a good place to stop today. On that note, we've learned the two tactics. We've learned the concern troll, which we've all seen. I don't want people to lose money. And then the sea lining tactic, which may be just a genuine concern, or maybe somebody with ulterior motives. How we deal with the concern troll is we fight him back with genuine concern. You be nice to him with genuine concern. How you deal with the sea liner? You turn around and you take that big conversation somewhere else, or you drop it, and then you hit him back with small talk because all the world's a stage. Okay, guys, I hope this helped some way because, again, tackling the FUD was a very good success for me. Like I said, as we go closer to that dividend date, whatever it may be, or whenever it may be, we're going to see a lot more manipulation and people trying to pull on your strings to get you to sell for whatever reason. And it's best to learn about these situations and emotionally prepare ourselves. I say I'm not a fan of saying leave your emotions at the door. I'm more of the school of thought of prepare your emotions, know what your limits are, know what you can take, practice, so that you can rein them in. Rein them in. When they throw that curveball at you, you'll know how to bat it. All right, there's another baseball reference. I will see you guys soon. Goodbye.